A taxi pulls up to a busy intersection in Wuhan. Rush hour. Scooters weaving between lanes. Pedestrians jaywalking. The car stops, waits, then threads through the chaos with machine precision. You lean forward to compliment the driver. There is no driver. The seat is empty. This is a Baidu Apollo robotaxi. It has no safety driver, no remote operator, no human backup. It is fully autonomous, operating on public roads, handling real traffic that would break Tesla's FSD in seconds. This is not a test. This is not a demo. This is Tuesday in Wuhan, and Wuhan is not alone. Baidu operates fully driverless robotaxis in 10 Chinese cities. Thousands of vehicles. Millions of autonomous miles logged on real streets with real unpredictability. Beijing, Shenzhen, Chongqing, Guangzhou. These are not closed test tracks. These are cities where a grandmother might step off the curb without looking, where a delivery driver might double park, where construction closes lanes without warning. The cars handle it. Every day. Meanwhile, in the United States, Tesla full self-driving remains in beta, still requires a human ready to grab the wheel, still racks up viral fail compilations. The company that promised autonomy by 2020 is watching China deploy the future it could not build. If you are enjoying this breakdown of the autonomous race everyone missed, hit like and subscribe. We cover the technology shifts that rewrite industries before the mainstream catches on. Now, here is what makes this story stranger. Tesla has been working on self-driving for over a decade. It has millions of cars on the road collecting data. It has Elon Musk promising full autonomy every single year since 2016. And yet, a Chinese search engine company that only started serious autonomous development in 2017 is now running a commercial robotaxi service with no human safety net. How did China leapfrog the company that was supposed to own this future? The answer starts with regulation. In the United States, deploying a car without a steering wheel requires years of federal approval, state-by-state negotiations, and mountains of liability paperwork. California's DMV makes companies file disengagement reports. The NHTSA demands crash data. Every step is designed to prevent failure, which also prevents progress. China took a different approach. Instead of waiting for perfect safety, Chinese regulators created autonomous vehicle zones where companies could test with real passengers under light oversight. Wuhan designated an entire district for driverless testing in 2022. Companies could fail fast, iterate, and learn from millions of edge cases that no simulation could predict. Then there is infrastructure. Tesla's approach to autonomy is pure vision. Cameras, neural networks, and the assumption that if humans can drive with eyes, cars can drive with cameras. No LiDAR, no vehicle-to-everything communication, just 8 cameras and a lot of processing power. China built the roads differently. Chinese cities deployed V2X infrastructure, vehicle-to-everything. Traffic lights that broadcast their timing to approaching cars. Intersections that share live feeds of blind corners. Lane markers with embedded sensors. The car is not navigating alone. The entire road is helping it. It is like giving a driver perfect vision through walls and the ability to see 5 seconds into the future. Baidu Apollo cars do not just see the intersection. They receive a data packet from the traffic light telling them exactly when it will turn red. They get a warning from the intersection's edge computing node that a bicycle is about to enter their path from the right. This is not autonomous driving. This is autonomous driving with the entire city as a co-pilot. And it works. Baidu's disengagement rate, the number of times a human has to take over per 1,000 miles, dropped below 0.1 in 2023. Tesla FSD in San Francisco averaged 13 disengagements per 1,000 miles the same year. That is a 130x gap. Not close, not catching up, a chasm. The third advantage is data. Tesla has millions of cars on the road, yes. But those cars are driven by humans using autopilot on highways and simple streets. The edge cases, the weird, dangerous, 1 in a million scenarios that break autonomous systems. Those happen rarely in human-driven cars. Baidu's robotaxis operate driverless in dense urban environments 12 hours a day. Every difficult merge, every pedestrian fake-out, every motorbike cutting across 3 lanes gets logged and learned from. It is the difference between watching 1,000 students practice piano scales and watching one concert pianist perform live every night. The concentrated, high-difficulty experience compounds faster. And then Huawei entered the game. Huawei does not make cars. It makes the brain. ADS 3.0, Advanced Driving System, is a self-driving stack that any automaker can license and install. Think of it like Android for autonomous vehicles. Huawei provides the sensors, the compute platform, the software, and the maps. The car maker provides the chassis and the badge. Baidu, a brand most Westerners have never heard of, launched a luxury SUV in 2023 with ADS 3.0. It drives itself on any road in China. No HD maps required. The system builds the map in real time using cameras and LiDAR, the same way a human driver would navigate an unfamiliar street. Tesla requires pre-mapped areas for navigate on autopilot. Huawei does not. This is a different business model entirely. Tesla wants to sell you a car with self-driving as a $15,000 software upgrade. Huawei wants to sell the self-driving system to 10 different car makers and let them compete on price, design, and brand. It is the Windows playbook, and it is working. Chery, one of China's largest automakers, announced it will use ADS 3.0 in 3 new models launching in 2025. Suddenly, affordable Chinese EVs priced under $25,000 will have autonomous capability that matches or exceeds Tesla's $50,000 Model 3. The cost curve just snapped in China's favor. Let's put the scale in perspective. Baidu Apollo operates over 400 robotaxis in Wuhan alone. The company has logged more than 50 million fully autonomous kilometers across all its cities. That is roughly 31 million miles. Tesla has logged more total miles, yes, but most of those are autopilot on highways with a human supervising. The learning curve for true Level 4 autonomy, no human, any condition, comes from unsupervised urban driving. And China is doing more of that than the rest of the world combined. Waymo operates in Phoenix and San Francisco. Crews pulled out after a pedestrian incident. Meanwhile, China has 10 cities, multiple competitors, and a government pushing for a fully autonomous transport network by 2030. Now here is the part that should terrify Detroit and Silicon Valley. The technology is not staying in China. Huawei ADS 3.0 will be available to any automaker willing to license it. BYD, the world's largest EV maker, is already in talks to integrate it into future models. If that happens, the same company that undercut Tesla on price will also match it on autonomy. And BYD is expanding into Europe, Southeast Asia, and South America. A $30,000 BYD sedan with ADS 3.0 lands in Germany in 2026. What does a European buyer choose? A $55,000 Tesla with beta software or a fully autonomous BYD for half the price? Tesla still has one card to play. The robotaxi event Elon Musk has been promising. A purpose-built autonomous vehicle with no steering wheel, no pedals, operating like Uber but with no driver. The problem is Baidu already did that. The Apollo Moon is exactly that vehicle. It launched in 2021. It costs $37,000 to manufacture. It has been ferrying passengers in Wuhan for 2 years. Tesla's robotaxi, when it arrives, will enter a market where the Chinese version is already at scale, already profitable in some cities, and already iterating on Generation 2. It is not a moonshot if someone else already landed. The West's autonomous strategy was built on the assumption that superior AI and vast data would create an unbeatable lead. But China demonstrated that infrastructure, regulation, and deployment velocity matter more than the best neural network. You can have the smartest self-driving software in the world, but if you are not allowed to test it without a safety driver, you will never encounter the edge cases that teach the system to handle reality. China gave its companies permission to fail in public, at scale, with real consequences. That produced better systems faster. It is the same pattern we saw with high-speed rail, with 5G, with solar manufacturing. China does not wait for perfect. It iterates at volume. So what happens next? The autonomous vehicle market will split. In China, robotaxis will become normal. Owning a car in a Tier 1 city will start to feel unnecessary when a driverless ride costs less than a subway ticket and arrives in 2 minutes. Baidu is already testing dynamic pricing that undercuts human-driven taxis by 30%. In the West, we will still be arguing about liability, debating whether LiDAR is necessary, and watching Tesla push back its robotaxi deadline for the 5th year in a row. By the time California allows driverless cars at scale, China will be exporting the software stack to the rest of the world. The autonomy gap is not closing, it is widening, and the implications go beyond transportation. Autonomous vehicles are a forcing function for AI, sensor fusion, edge computing, and 5G networks. The country that leads in self-driving will lead in the infrastructure those systems require, which means the country that wins autonomous vehicles wins the next generation of smart cities, logistics, networks, and industrial automation. China is not just ahead in cars. It is ahead in the entire stack that makes autonomous systems possible at scale. The West is still thinking about autonomous driving as a car problem. China already solved that and moved on to the city. The search engine company that everyone said could never compete with Tesla just deployed thousands of driverless taxis while Elon Musk is still promising next year. The autonomous race is over. The winner is not who you expected. And it is not even close. Subscribe and turn on notifications. The next story out of China makes this look like the opening act. Would you trust a car with no driver in rush hour traffic? Drop your answer below. I read every one.